a former MMA wrestler himself, was there for all of it, and he joins us now. Welcome, Senator.
Thanks for having me on, Rachel.
So great to have you on. So before we get to that, can I just mention your boys were there, and they are wrestlers. This was a big moment for Trump, but this is a big moment for anyone who loves wrestling.
It was a huge moment. Just the fact that President Trump took the time to walk into that arena and just share the love of the sport that he truly cares about. Remember, Rachel, in 23, he was in Tulsa with me as well.
Yes.
My boys now, in 23, they were wrestling in high school. Today, they wrestle at Oklahoma State and OU. I got 3 boys all wrestling in college, and it's just something that we truly love the sport. And President Trump seems to share our same passion for it.
Senator, take us through, what was it like to be there? I mean, I imagine that was just so cool to hear the crowd, to be there. That's got to have been awesome.
But when the sound of, they say the sound of God came on, the place went absolutely nuts. President Trump came walking in, they're chanting USA, USA, USA. Elon is there. Elon is getting excited about it. You can tell the wrestlers that had already wrestled for, being All-American from 3rd place all the way down to 8th place. They were standing up cheering. The president walked over to me and he says, "They absolutely love me here, don't you?" And I said, "Sir, they do." And he says, "Why do you think that?" And I said, "Sir, every male in this building, and I'd say a lot of females in this building, has been punched in the face. We're wrestling fans. We do this." And I said, "They respect a fighter and they respect you." And he just said, "Yeah, I get that. I get that."
It's interesting, Senator, because I think that's a great story there, because, this is about so much more than just a sporting event or just liking the guy for some reason. There's real issues here at stake. And, people are looking up at Trump and they see this guy. He's the first guy that's come along and actually fought for the principles and the values that they care about. And it's completely lost in our politics today.
Charlie, he shows every single day that he's for the people and from the people. And what I mean by that is, tell me if Joe Biden could walk in that room and get a chant like that. They'd been chanting, I don't know, "Let's go Brandon." But when President Trump walked in there, they were chanting USA, because every single day they know that he's up there fighting for them. And the iconic part was, unfortunately, in Pennsylvania, when the assassin's bullet missed him, and yet he stood up and put his hand in the air and said, "Fight, fight, fight." That resonated through everybody. And it resonated through the patriotism through our country too. And then you walk into a wrestling arena like that, where people just love America, they respect a fighter. That's right at President Trump's base. And he couldn't have been more at home in that crowd than, let's say, myself or any other wrestler that was participating there.
Yeah, I definitely think he platformed wrestling in such an incredible way. But again, you don't get to, if you can fight, but if you don't win, you don't win. And he's winning. I mean, it's only been,
That's right.
I don't have a lot of time, Senator, but it's only been 2 months and so many wins.
That's right. This morning before I got on your show, Rachel, I was reading last week's wins, and they were talking about all the manufacturing coming back to the U.S. They were talking about the executive orders that was putting the country back on place. They were talking about Audi and Honda announcing they're going to start making manufacturing back here in the United States. Talking about the $1.4 billion investment that UAE is announcing almost immediately, going up to $1.4 trillion. You just see that people are investing in the U.S. because they trust the leadership that we have. One thing I want to add, too, is Wyatt Henderson is the heavyweight that you guys were talking about that pulled maybe the largest upset of the NCAA. He's also a graduate from the Air Force Academy. And President Trump met him 3 years ago, and Wyatt walked up to him, and I was with him, and said, "Can I get a waiver to fly jets?" And the President looked at him and said, "Sir, I don't think they make cockpits that big. I mean, just a huge individual." And they actually developed a friendship. And so President Trump was supposed to leave 2 matches before Wyatt wrestled. And he said, he looked at me and he says, "I can't leave. I got to watch my big guy." That's what he called him. He said, "I got to watch my big guy."
Nice.
Senator
awesome.
Mullin, we appreciate your insight and you sharing your Sunday morning with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Good to see you.
Great to see you.
Thanks for having me on.